Hello. So I was outside the other day cleaning the dog pen, which is a chore I really strongly dislike. I had some music on in the background. And there's moments where you're doing stuff, having a party or working or road trip, whatever, where a song comes on and you're like, it's the perfect song for what you're trying to do. And while it's not perfect for maybe cleaning up the dog pen, it really describes me and how I feel about being outside perfectly. Like, if I were to pick songs as a theme for me, this would be in the probably top 5. And it is by the Rascals. Some of you probably can guess what it is. And some of you have no idea who the Rascals are. But I am going to play that song because it has become the theme for me for gardening. David Allan Coe had the perfect country and western song with "You Never Call Me By My Name." And this is the perfect gardening song. See if you can hear it. Long intro.
It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll move outside for a while. Just taking some clean, fresh air.
I love this song.
But it's fine. You got the time. It's your chance to wake up and plan another brand new day. Either way,
It's a
beautiful morning.
Anyway, I love that song. And since this is my channel and I can do what I want, I can also act a fool from time to time. It really is a great song. I looked up the lyrics and every single lyric is perfect for how I feel about being outside. All the time I want to be outside. When I was a kid, if it was summer, I grew up in Colorado, I was on my bike all the time, playing tag with my brother and sister, building forts, climbing trees, kind of, sort of, but mostly on my bike. If it was winter, I had on my snowsuit, I was laying in the snow, climbing in the snow, trying to jump off of things into a built-up snowbank, laying there in the cold, watching snow fall out of the sky, and that super quiet that you get when it's a nice, good snowfall. Like, there's nothing that I don't like about being outside, except for being maybe in a rain. But anyway, I'm babbling, and it's time to move on. It is breezy today, so that makes video difficult because then it makes that noise in the speaker. So it's going to be hard to do any video footage. I also wanted to do some burning of some leaves. I did work yesterday, raking up leaves, cleaning out from under some azalea bushes. It had had so much leaf and pine needles that it had rot going on. So I'm hoping that by cleaning a bunch of that accumulated leaf and pine debris, that maybe they'll be happy this spring. Hopefully I'll get a good flower show. There's a bunch of dead wood on the shrubs, cut all that out. Anyway, I was going to burn it today, but I'm a big chicken when it comes to fire. I see some neighbors do some incredible burn piles, and that's just not in my comfort zone. And because there's a breeze, I'm not burning today either. But there is something I do want to do. I want to show you what I received from, her name is Jocelyn, and she used to work with my mom doing surgical technician. and they've both kind of gone on to do different things. And what she is doing is she owns a flower farm, I suppose you would say, in Kentucky. And she sells her flowers to florists, flower shops. I think she sells them for wedding bouquets and events like that. And then my mom said she also takes her flowers to the flower market in Clarksville. So I think maybe that's in Tennessee. I could be wrong. I'm actually pretty decent with geography, but I'm not sure where Clarksville is. Anyhow, so because this is her career path, she has a whole lot of flowers and shrubs that she has given to me free of cost, and I'm really excited. So I'm gonna go right now and show you what she gave me. Oh, and you can see her on Instagram. It's the Flower Patch Trenton, and I'll type it up and put it in the little description for the video so that you can follow her on Instagram. This greenhouse was left here by the prior homeowner. We're the third homeowners. I think the second homeowner might have put this in. Maybe it was here before, I don't know. And usually there's lizards in here, and I'm hoping that I don't see one because, well, they'll be screaming if it jumps on me. So here is the plant haul from Miss Jocelyn. She gave me foxglove, Shasta daisy. Here's some other tags. Creeping campanula, creeping anemone, verbena, and she gave me some crepe myrtle that we're gonna find a place for out in the landscape. And I know they don't need to be in the greenhouse, but that's where I currently have room for them, and I probably need to water everything because since the wind is blowing, I think today I will work on cleaning up this area again. I am constantly trying to clean this up, and then it constantly turns back into a mess. I'm really, really anxious to utilize all of this cardboard as a weed block and then put the mulch on top of it. I have a ton of cardboard out here. So I am going to, I suppose, set the camera up and work on this horrendous mess of an area. And here is the other crepe myrtle that Miss Jocelyn gave me. And some of this other stuff we pulled up out of the landscape already. I don't want it, but my husband's making me hold on to it. Except for this guy. He was the one that was mostly dead up in the front planter that I did a video on prior. There's still a little bit life in there somewhere though. I try to block the wind, and I see I got a shadow. But here are the hellebores. So this will be year 2 for sure, maybe year 3. I've only ever gotten one to flower, but the guy told me that it can take a couple of years for them to establish themselves and flower really well. But I wanted to bring you down here because this is where I worked yesterday, cleaning all of this leaf junk out from underneath these azalea bushes. Those azaleas have purple leaves, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that they ever had that. And then I worked over here cleaning out all of this stuff in the middle of the pathway was all underneath these. And I think I accumulated about 6 golf balls in here. And there was one thing that I wanted to see if anybody knew what it was, if I can find it again. a really awful, here it is. So this vine, anybody can tell me what this is called. That's the shape of the leaf, but it's full of thorns and it's getting into everything. And the reason I would like to know what it's called is so that I can maybe understand better how to eradicate it. And here's the stems of all of them. They were all over this. Oh, my camera's going nuts. All over my azalea. All right. I meant to mention this guy. So I like faceless gnomes. I have quite a few in my house. And my brother thought it would be funny to get me this really ugly zombie gnome and hide it in my garden when he was here visiting for Christmas. Wise guy. Been out here for a while now, hours, and I got the boxes broken down and the tape removed off of them so I can use them later. I decided to move my shelf and the blue chipper and swapping stuff. If I'm lucky, Derek will make me some doors to cover this because it's gonna be a while before we get our shed. Ooh. And I use this stuff in here all the time and I don't want to look at it all summer long. It's really cluttery, junky looking. I did get about a third of the way through pulling stuff out, throwing things away. I decided to reorganize all my chemicals. I separated things for plants and things for pest control because I just kind of shove stuff in places, and I got that all taken care of. And I've got a spot back here to put my gorilla box, that black box over there, and the chainsaw. The problem with that is I had tools in the gorilla box, but the chainsaw is, it's always loaded up with stuff, and with that box anyway, and it gets heavy, and then I don't want to use the gorilla box, so I gotta figure out what to put in there that I don't need to have that often, but that I also won't forget that I even have it because it's been locked up in that gorilla box. The wind has been a pain in my neck today. Every time I sweep up leaves, it comes along and blows the leaves right back where I had them before I can get it picked up and put into the trash bin. And I think today's been pretty productive. Now, once I get this all cleaned up and at least semi-decent until we get a shed, there it is looking back the other direction. After that, I'll need to clean up this. A lot of all that stuff over there is just empty pot plants that I probably need to throw away, well, recycle. But I'm holding on to it thinking I might need to propagate something or try that once I have a little extra time. So I'm holding on to them for a little bit. I probably don't need to hold on to all of them. I also have this raised bed that I need to empty out. There's daisies and iris in the middle. There are 2 blueberry bushes that need to come out of there. There is a jerky kind of a grape that climbs up into the peach tree and strangles it, and so I think that will just go in the trash. But anyhow, I'm holding on to some of these pots a little while longer. And for now, that will be it. And when I get this all done, I will probably have that on maybe a different video, unless I'm super fast and get it all done today. It is getting a little colder out here. The temperature's starting to drop. But I want to thank Jocelyn. Thank you again so much for all the flowers that you gave to us. I can't wait to get them planted. I just need to come up with a plan to get them planted and where to put them. But thank you ever so much. I really, truly am grateful for that. I'm going to end our video now. I just want to wish everyone a happy new year. It's maybe a little bit late, but it's still January, and in my mind I can say happy new year until February. So happy new year, and thank you for watching. Bye.